Now streaming Man with Twisted Lip from Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, only on Quaitia's Started Podcast. Stream.
While Sherlock Holmes had been detailing this singular series of events, we had been whirling through the outskirts of the great town until the last straggling houses had been left behind, and we rattled along with the country hedge upon either side of us. Just as he finished, however, we drove through the scattered villages where a few lights still glimmered in the windows. "We are on the outskirts of Lee," said my companion. "We have touched on 3 English countries in our short drive. Watson, starting at Middlesex, passing over an angle of Surrey and ending in Kent. See that light among the trees? That is the cedars. And beside that lamp sits a woman whose anxious ears have already, I have little doubt, caught the clink of our horses' feet. But why are you not conducting the case from Baker Street, Holmes?" I asked. "Because there are many inquiries which must be made out here. Mrs.St had most kindly put 2 rooms at my disposal, and you may rest assured that she has trifles. Let us now see the letter." "Ha! There has been an enclosure here." "Yes, there was a ring, his signet ring," said she. "And you are sure that this is your husband's hand?" "One of his hands." "One? His hand when he wrote hurriedly. It is very unlike his usual writing, and yet I know it well." "Dearest, his hand when he wrote hurriedly. It is very unlike his usual writing, and yet I know it well." "Dearest, do not be frightened. All will come well. There is a huge error which it may take some little time to rectify. Wait in patience, Neville. Wait in patience." Written in pencil upon the flyleaf of a book of tower size, no watermark. Posted today in Gravesend by a man with dirty thumb. Ha! And a flag has been gummed, if I am not very much in error, by a person who had been chewing tobacco, and you have no doubt that it is your husband's hand, madam. None. Neville wrote these words, and they were posted today at Gravesend. Well, Mrs. Sinclair, the clouds lighten, though I should not venture to say that the danger is over." "But he must be alive, Mr. Holmes." "Unless this is clever forgery to put us on wrong scent. Unless this is a clever forgery to put us on the wrong scent. The ring, after all, proves nothing. It may have been taken from him." No, it is. It is his own writing." "Very well. It may, however, have been writing on Monday and only posted today." "Very well, it may, however, have been written on Monday and only posted today." "That is possible. So much may have happened between."
Hey everyone, this was episode 4 from Man with Twisted Lip from Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle, only on Quaitia's Started Podcast. Next episode will drop coming Sunday. Till then, stay tuned and subscribe to Quaitia's Started Podcast.
And you may rest assured that she will have nothing but a welcome for my friend and colleague. I hate to meet her, Watson. While I hate to meet her, Watson, when I have no news of her husband. Here we are. Whoa, there, whoa. We had pulled up in front of a large window which stood within its own grounds. A stable boy had run out to the horse's head, and springing down, I followed Holmes up the small, winding gravel drive which led to the house. As we approached, the door flew open, and a little blonde woman stood in the open, clad in some sort of little mousseline dessous, which a touch of fluffy pink chiffon at her neck and wrists. She stood with her figure outlined against the flood of light, one hand upon the door and half raised in her eagerness, her body slightly bent, her head and face protruded with eager eyes and parted lips and standing caution. Well, well, she cried, well, and then, seeing that there were two of us, she gave a cry of hope which sank into a groan as she saw that my companion shook his head and shrugged his shoulders. No good news? She asked. None. No bad? No. Thank you for God. Thank God for that. But come. You must be weary, for you had a long day. This is my friend, Dr. Watson. He has been most vital use to me in several of my cases, and the lucky chance has made it possible for me to bring him out and associate him with this investigation. I am delighted to see you, said she, pressing my hand warmly. Will you, I am sure, forgive anything that may be wanting in our arrangements, when you consider the blow which has come so suddenly upon us? My dear man, said I am an old captain, and if I were not, I can very well see that no apology is needed. And if I can be of any assistance, either to you or to my friend here, I shall be indeed happy. Now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, said the lady as we entered a well-lit dining room, upon the table of which a cold supper had been laid out. I should very much like to ask you one or two plain questions, to which I beg that you will give a plain answer. Certainly, madam. Do not trouble about my feelings. I am not hysterical, nor given to fainting. I simply wish to hear your real opinion. Upon what point? In your heart of hearts, do you think that Neville is alive? In your heart of hearts, do you think that Neville is alive? Sherlock Holmes to be embarrassed. Sherlock Holmes seemed to be embarrassed by the question. Frankly now, she replied. Frankly now, Sherlock Holmes seemed to be embarrassed by the question. Frankly now, she repeated. Frankly, standing upon the rug and looking keenly down at him as he leaned back in the basket chair. Frankly then, madam, I do not. You think that he is dead? I do. Murdered? Murdered? I don't say that, perhaps. I don't say that. Perhaps. And on what day did he meet his death? On Monday. Then perhaps, Mr. Holmes, you will be good enough to explain how it is that I have received a letter from him today. Sherlock Holmes sprang out of his chair as if he had been galvanized. What? He roared. Yes, today. She stood smiling. holding up a little slip of paper in the air. May I see it? Suddenly, he snatched it from her in his eagerness and smoothing it out upon the table. He drew over the lamp and examined it intently. I had left my chair and was gazing at it over his shoulder. The envelope was a very coarse one and was stamped with the Gravesend postmark and with the date of that very day, or rather of the day before, for it was considerably after midnight. Coarse writing, murmured Holmes. Surely this is not your husband's writing, madam. No, but the enclosure is. I perceive also that whoever addressed the envelope had to go and inquire as to the address. How can you tell that? The name you see is in perfectly black ink, which has dried itself. The rest is of the greyish color, which shows that blotting paper has been used. If it had been written straight off and then blotted, none would be of deep black shade. This man has written the name, and there has been a pause. There has been a pause before he wrote the address, which can only mean that he was not familiar with it. It is, of course, a trifle, but there is nothing so important